time, I remember the scene. What they call it, the screw face capital, right?
Yeah,
Because
Screwface is still there though.
yeah, it's still there, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
still there. It transformed mutation, like a mutation. It done right.
Mm.
And it's a mutation. It's still there, you're right. The screw face,
Yeah, it's
but
still there. When you know what, the Screwface is a good thing because it
makes
keeps
it.
people on their toes. So
Mm-hmm.
when they're performing now, well, it's not as bad as before because back in the day, you could be performing, you could be wicked,
Yeah,
but some people would just be like, ah, whatever, guy.
yeah, it's true.
Impress me again, do it again. You know what I mean? Like now it's kind of like people are
Yeah,
performing over their vocals
yeah.
and
Because the
they're
game
getting
for
a forward.
yeah,
Before in the back in the day, if you did that, you would get bottled.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's progression or not. It's I would say it's kind of less violent
Yeah,
overall because
yeah,
people used to really scrap and fight and do things to each other back in the day. Now they don't really
yeah.
do that. It shows, but it can spill out if you have a certain type of artist on a bill, right?
That's why they don't
So
wanna. That's why I believe if you're into that, you're not gonna go far.
not at all, man. It's
No.
unfortunate. You're in a block up or unfortunately you pass,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we've been seeing that in our scene for forever. I wouldn't say forever, but for a long time.
Yeah. I
You know
used
what
to
I mean?
seen it. Yeah, man. Like
So
right now, commercially, you're right. Commercially, it's out there, but it's not developed.
yeah,
Not really developed
it's because
because
it's not developed from home, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not. Well, some people have like their bases started from here, but they had to leave,
yeah.
right?
I knew about Tory Lanez way
Mm-hmm.
before like people were even rocking with him. I remember seeing his videos, and I'm saying, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
this guy American or something? And I'm talking
Yeah,
3 years before he popped, before people like
yeah,
listened to him, yo. I remember watching his
yeah,
video, good quality
yeah,
video, and I didn't know he was from here until I done my research.
yeah.
And right?
But technically, Freddie used to be his manager, right?
Yeah,
That's how I know Tory Lanez, right? That's how I know of him, right? And Freddie kind of helped boosted him to get to a certain point, for him to get to a certain point, to get to a certain point. They had a
yeah,
fallout. I don't know the details of the what happened,
mm,
right? But they had a disagreement, and from Freddie's perspective, he didn't want to argue at the time with a teenager,
yeah,
right?
oh, yeah.
After investing time and energy into him, so they parted their ways, but he definitely helped him a lot, and he knows it. Tory knows that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like even just Freddie just sent me a interview that Tory was recent. I don't know if it's recently. It looks recent, where he mentions Freddie, but he doesn't mention Freddie's name. And
Oh,
he's done that in many interviews. I've been
yeah,
watching Tory's interviews since his first album, right?
mm-hmm.
And he's always mentioned his manager, but never saying who it was. But
Yeah,
again, when they throw his first mixtape, it's Freddie's branding around it, so
yeah.
he can't get around with that. That video that he made challenging Drake, that was Freddie. That was Freddie. That was Freddie's concept. That was Freddie's idea.
So he
I
was a
remember when Freddie told me he was gonna do it, and you know
mm-hmm.
what I mean. Seeing the artwork before it even dropped on a World Star. So when they went
Oh,
to Atlanta, I remember Freddie or Florida, I forgot which one. Freddie calling me and saying, "Yo, people already know the guy, know him because they're like, yo, you're the kid from World Star."
yeah. So
Yeah.
Freddie sounded like he was a good promoter. He's good at
No,
promoting.
Freddie
Good.
is a guy who can create ideas on the fly. Like I said, I've been doing shows with him since '04. I've done parties with him before, but from '04 he started doing heavy on the hip hop stuff,
Mm,
and it will be like I don't know what I'm gonna do for the show in the next few days. All of a sudden, this crazy idea, and boom, whether it works or not, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you can create. Because if you can't create, then you can't do much. If you
yeah,
can't create your own copy.
yeah,
And for me personally, I don't care what anyone says, and I'm not being biased. I haven't seen too many promoters on a local level, like
yeah.
dealing with local artists, put in so much energy and creativity behind local artists. They wait till they bust before they get behind them. Or
Mm-hmm.
some form of bust, you know what I mean?
You remember?
And if anybody can dispute me on that, I don't really care. Show me the proof. I've seen it firsthand. So to
I
each their
believe.
own, you know?
I believe
Yeah,
exactly.
and consistency too, right?
Yeah.
Consistency. Freddie's been very consistent. When you're doing a weekly, and then going on to like doing 2 Thursday nights at 2 different locations in 2 different parts of the city. And there's so many other things I can go on a days about just that chapter. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see what Tori's doing still. But because at the end of the day, when people are like, whatever, I'm like, yo, he's selling shows out in Europe. Then his first album does well, this does well, that does well. But I'm saying, like, before he got to this first album, he dropped this amount of material.
Enough mixtapes.
Yeah. So he's been putting in the work.
Yeah.
I think about it, 10 years later, he's competing to be one of the top 10 artists.
Yeah. True.
So
Paperboy. Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah, man.
One thing with promotion, I know about the promotion thing, like, because my brethren were promoters too. The same way how they were, you know one of them. It's a small world, but I don't know.
Who's that again?
The four. One named Tech. You know one of them. Tech.
Technique?
Yeah, Elevation. Yeah, Elevation.
Yeah, man. Elevation guy. Yo, those guys used to run this block, bro.
Now you know.
Yo.
Yeah.
The thing is, you see with the club promotion game,
yeah,
it's a very interesting world. And I don't know if a lot of artists understood or tried to take advantage of being in that world or working with those promoters. For me, from what I see anyways, when it comes to not Baby Blue, but when it comes to Cardinal and Shaw Clear and those guys, they worked with Jay and Baby Blue and all these guys.
Yeah.
And then having big parties for, you know what I mean? For their birthday and mixing and max, you know what I mean? Yeah. But after that, I didn't see a lot of artists doing that.
Yeah, they're ahead.
Some of them did, but not really. And these promoters control the game locally. Yeah. They're the ones attracting 500, 1,000 plus people to their events. So why wouldn't you want to be exposed by them?
Yeah, it's true.
So I see artists leaving these parties. They have no marketing materials. They didn't put up no posters. They just went to the club to buy some bottles and just not show that they're in the place. Was your song even playing in the club once?
No.
So if your song's not even playing in the club, at least put up some posters. Do something that somebody knows that you're just not a regular person. It doesn't matter who knows you. It's about who you don't know that knows you.
You're right. And they were, right after the jam, they had the next promotion coming. People
all right. And out there, all the promoters out there giving out the blood clot flyer.
They had their own jerseys too. Chain.
Yeah.
Yo, I was the youngest, mother. These guys were the These guys were wearing like what guys don't even have now. The chain.
Yeah.
Elevation.
Yo, that team Elevation was a serious team, guy.
Yeah, man.
Very serious team. Very, very serious team, guy.
So I know that's where I grew under that thing, and so now I'm putting what I learned to my, what I do. You know what I'm saying? And doing that to help other people. That's the key, to help you. And the new artists and whatever, So that's
my thing is this. I wish this generation actually knew what happened when Elevation was around. Because for me personally, that time in Toronto, from maybe you say even before 2000, but from 2000 to at least, I'll stop at 2015, was it was a great time for the clubs in Toronto, and a great time just for the scene in general. Like when you go downtown on a busy Friday, Saturday night, there's just bare people to promote to. You know what I mean?
I seen that. I honestly, from 97 after Biggie died, right?
Yeah.
I went to Carabana. I was 17. My brothers were the older ones, and I remember going barely with my shoes, running to the car and shit. Went to the Puffy concert. Puffy came down.
Yeah.
The Locks? I don't know. I think it was a whole bunch of people, right?
Yeah.
They promoted that shit, Elevation.
Yeah.
And I got him for free. No ID.
Yeah.
No. That's what made the 6. I tell people.
All right. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, these Americans have been coming up here for how long? Yeah. This is nothing new. It's nothing new.
Nothing new. Long time.
It's like
5 and more, yo. Trust
me. You know what I mean? So it's like, we didn't have to wait till Drake bust for certain Americans to know us. Like if you live in a place where you never hear of us, that's fine, because we probably never heard of you either. Our connection was with New York mostly, right?
Yeah.
We barely know what's going on in other parts of our own country, much less.
It's true.
So if you don't know about us, that's cool. But New York knew about us.
Maestro.